what the distances can be.
Please put your hands together for Kieran! Lights out! Let's go!
So we're hitting probably the coolest pad in London. Look at this. Boxing bag, got Blade Gang sign. Ayesha, of course. Obviously there had to be snakes. That little bad boy tucked away in there. And of course, katana. So, gonna learn to do some blade throwing.
There we go. This is what you're throwing today.
And this is it. Should have taken that insurance.
Also need to, as you can see, this is the other hilarious thing about my board. This desperately needs changing.
It's getting gashed up a little bit, isn't it?
It's still on. So I basically, and this one as well, so one of my friends...
So it hasn't stuck through in the wall or anything yet?
Oh yeah, a million times.
Oh really?
Yeah mate, the wall behind, like come look at the wall behind it. It's literally, yeah, I can never move that basically.
So we need a new board.
Yeah, we definitely, well, I just need to chuck these in, I need to swap them round and just replace them with a new board. Half spin is about here-ish, so
Yeah.
that's for half a rotation.
So then double that would obviously be full spin.
But this is where it changes because the velocity changes, right? How hard you're throwing the knife changes. And also the point that you're holding it from changes. So half spin is from the blade, full spin is a handle throw. So you go to the handle and you throw, and then 1.5 spin would be a blade throw, 2 spin would be handle throw, etc, etc. So I'm going to say it's around here. Might be completely
Only one way to find out.
Yeah, I'm going to throw it. Yeah. So
Wee, nailed it.
one spin is around this mark for me.
I'm holding it like that,
Point it straight forward. Yeah. So point it how you're going to throw it. So my pinky's here, I'm just pointing it like that.
Yeah.
And it leaves my hand in the same way. So if you watch from this side, I'll do it in super slow-mo. So it's here, I'm pointing, say there, it comes up, I release and my hand goes through. But make sure that you're holding it completely, like it as an extension of your arm.
Yeah.
Nice. There we go.
Wow.
There we go.
Really satisfying.
Isn't it lovely?
So really
feeling?
just like, oh,
Fuck.
that's it.
Isn't it the loveliest feeling? No, it's consistency. So again, you're changing the grip, so you know the knife is pointing behind you.
Yeah.
Again, remember to point it straight forward, because you're adding kind of half a little rotation. So let's fix your grip. That's it, straight forward. Don't cock your wrist. So it wants to just that.
Oh, so actually drop the knife down.
Yeah,
okay.
absolutely, because that's what you did just a second ago, where it landed really nicely. So this is kind of what it needs to be here. Those just support it. I'm aiming it almost as if it's the blade.
Yeah.
And then I'm chucking it straight
So
forward.
these are literally just supporting it.
Yes. There it goes.
Hey.
Beautiful. Gorgeous. And look at that grouping. Whee! Very nice. Don't change your throw chamber. Follow through. There There it is.
The body, I'm just using my arm, that's why.
And it's funny, the more you throw, the more you kind of catch yourself doing the things.
You start realising when you're slipping up.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's like you kind of just get, it is.
Muscle
you need to use
memory.
your, but it's using your body. So to start boxing, you need to use your whole body.
100%.
Don't just
chuck
your arm.
Yeah, 'cause it's not a ball, that's the thing,
Yeah.
you know? Beautiful. Whey! Look at that!
Cha-cha-cha.
Eee.
Oh, yeah, such as...
It's the most
I can't
satisfying
believe that
thing.
people get to do this just for a job.
I know, right?
Get paid to do this. That's just, yeah.
Having a great time, not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. It's a great day.
Wow.
Up in seconds, so you got this.
You're lucky.
Way!
Oh, that's so much more satisfying when you go boom, boom.
That's so nice.
Hold on. Look at this. If someone threw that at me, I would literally.
dead.
Well, yeah, you'd be, quite clearly, but if someone just did, like, if I saw someone doing that near me, I'd be like, Ooh. Heavy.
It's so heavy. So you really have to like.
What it?
Yeah, well you kind of have
Give
to.
it a good old.
Yeah. So close. Let's go further back.
Third time's the charm.
There it is.
Bosh.
That's a fucking lovely throw. It's so nice.
You want to try?
Absolutely. I'd go slightly further back, ever so slightly. There, further up. I'm gonna get the fuck out of the way.
Yeah.
Jesus. It's a funny one, isn't
You
it?
mean it's
Your,
got-
your
yeah, 'cause
throw
it-
has
it's
to
a lot
completely
heavier.
change. Yeah, your throw has to completely change. And follow through. Close, close.
I want to smash the whole bloody board down.
Oh no, literally, that's the thing with those knives. That's why I usually throw them outside, but this is it's a nice one to have a whack with. So close! That would have stuck if the board wasn't shit.
Yeah.
So you know now where you got to throw from. About there. That's it. Whee! Nice.
That is satisfying, isn't it? It's just like.
It's so good. Such a nice feeling.
Boosh.
Yeah, that'll still fucking slice your hand up. It's not. I really need to blunt these. Like,
They're super sharp,
they're so sharp. Like, they are horrific levels of sharp. I would never suggest throwing these. That's why they stay on the wall generally, to be honest. Do you want to do it with? Yeah. All right, I'm gonna let you. And if you know what, you hurt yourself. You hurt yourself.
My fault.
Yeah, exactly.
Woo.
Lovely.
Woo. Got it.
Yay!
Got it. And I still got a hand.
You still have a hand.
Still have a
It
hand.
has not been sliced out. But
Look at that.
it's pretty sharp.
Yes.
Cold Steel do a really fucking nice one. It's up in the attic. I've got it. They're massive. Yeah, there we go. This is the war axe.
Good old cookery knife, eh?
Cookery machete.
So have you seen? I've got a book at home actually. There's a story in Afghan about there's a really high value target that the Gurkhas had to. Well, there's Gurkhas in this regiment that this regiment had to go and get.
Oh.
I think it was in the SAS. Anyway, so one of the guys who was a Gurkha, they went in there, took him off. All the Gurkhas have obviously cookery knives, 'cause it's like their national blade.
Yeah.
And he obviously cut the guy's head off and took it back. And they were like, "You don't really do that in this day and age, mate." And he's just like, "I've got him."
I got the guy.
And it's like, I don't think you're allowed to do that anymore.
I think that's kind of slightly illegal.
Yeah, but.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
You're a terrorist, fuck you.
Yeah,
we'll
literally.
get you.
We'll behead you.
I'm here
It's a
for
really
it.
ironic way to die. Like,
Yeah.
Terrorists. Like, let's behead you instead.
Yeah.
Those are tomahawks.
good old
Slightly
Indian.
different. Yeah, slightly different from the axe. Yeah, again, you have to proper throw that for it to. It's nice when it lands though.
It's filth.
Isn't
It's a
it?
really nice weight.
It's lovely.
It's like a really nice.
Really nice.
It would be quite nice to hit someone with.
Yeah.
Like it's,
Yeah.
and it's a very good weapon.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just lovely because of the follow through.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like you don't have to exert that much force for that to break through button.
Yeah.
It's just lovely. You can proper like hurt
You can
someone.
just get you can just get so much
And
like
you don't-
leverage on it, can't
Exactly. And the slice would be really clean because of the weight, which is nice.
Yeah.
I always think a nice clean slice is obviously what you want to
you?
get.
Do you know what's actually it's actually crazy when you start playing with these weapons, you think about
Their application.
people at war back in the day. Like going toe to toe with someone with one of these, just being like, let's have it out, son.
Fucking horrifying.
Yeah, literally.
And you know, someone coming in, literally not in like a fight choreography context, in a I'm trying to fucking kill you
Yeah.
context, like really scary.
Actually makes you appreciate how just mentally hard and savage you have to be to get up and go for someone with that. Because it's not like nowadays where you've got a gun, you put a trigger from however far away you are, and there's just no real connection to that. Whereas when you're there, you're on someone, just like think about stabbing someone.
It's a lot. It requires, I think, a lot more gut. Do you know what I mean? Because
yeah, 100. That's
you're
what
so
I mean.
disconnected with.
That's the word. You're so connected to the kill. You're like you're watching that person.
And it's an extension of you. You can feel the impact of flesh and bone and tendons as you are slicing or walloping through it.
And
Whereas a gun is so disconnected, it's so quick as well. Because also with knives and stuff like that, depending on where you're aiming, particularly in a combat situation, you're not always going to get a point that is going to be like a large artery, or do you know what I mean, where you can kill someone quickly. So it's also the stickability and the tenacity to follow through to the kill.
And just
Gut.
right,
Just
someone.
gut.
Yeah.
You know, you've got to really you've got to have something very bestial and strong in you. Whereas a gun, boom, you're done and you can walk away, and it's so quick and it's so cold.
And you don't even realise you've kind of done anything. It's just like, sure.
Yeah, the impact of the kill is so much less.
Yeah.
Whereas you take ownership of when you are fucking killing somebody with a metal weapon.
Yeah, because essentially when you're you're watching them die.
Yeah.
Like, you must be, you're so
Even
involved in that moment.
Totally. Even in terms of small things like the breath, right? You can see someone losing their breath. You can see when that's becoming shorter. You can physically feel it because of your proximity, I can imagine. Do you know what I mean? That's becoming shorter. Their breaths are becoming shorter. You kill someone, you kill someone. There's no impact, there's no time, there's no veracity. Like, all of it's just gone. It's just a cold, meaningless, senseless
So how is
kill.
it in obviously stunting?
Yeah.
Because you have those moments where you're like sitting there where you're talking about when you have that shield and you're going back by you shooting people, and then there's obviously times you just stand there like it must be like when you do like hand-to-hand stunts, because you still obviously was like wrestling with people and almost kind of like.
So it depends. Yeah, it's
how does
hard.
all that work?
It's hard because there is a level of stop that you need to have. So for example, if I was trying to deliver like a meaningful, what looks like a meaningful hit to you, for example, right? The recoil is everything. So it's almost like you stop it at a pole, like a brick wall. So rather than actually following through and hitting you, it's like boom, and that's the recoil is what sells the shot. Because in like real life, in like fight contests as well, and this is the other thing, like in terms of bullet hits and stuff like that, right? The way it's sold in a film context or in an action context is so different to how it actually is. Even a punch, do you know what I mean? Like if you're thinking about actually fucking walloping somebody and going for it, your immediate reaction, particularly if it's a shot that's going to like knock them out, you're following through, right? You're going through with your punch, and it's almost like your arm almost gets left out most of the time, right? As opposed to unless they're still semi-conscious and you've then got to go back for another thing. But if you're delivering kind of like a either fatal or semi-fatal blow or like a knockout or something, like there's so much follow through, whereas everything about screen fighting is recoil and telegraphing, which is the opposite of what you're supposed to do. So selling a big shot, do you know what I mean? I can land here and I can be like wah, and that will, like, my body will sell it, as opposed to, obviously, you're not putting that much in.
And then, yeah, so it's obviously your body and my body and how I react. So I've got to be like, nah!
Yeah. So your
and
reaction,
hit the neck, like,
exactly.
crumble down.
Yeah, and it's the timing and stuff. And even so, for like a straight shot, reactions are fucking horrible. We won't do them because I mean, we have to warm up on the and stuff properly.
You mean what? A straight shot? Like
Even
punching,
straight shots, even like, you know, a hook or anything like that, like the way, the timing of it is horrible as well, because where you're stopping dead, right, I still have to wait until you're like in my vision before I take my reaction. So if I react too late, you're gonna hit me. Basically.
Yeah.
So, you know, you dead stop, but it's also then up to me. It's like a dance, like it's also up to me to get the fuck out of the way and do my reaction at the right time. Also, don't do my reaction too early or too late. So it's hard. Like, screen fighting is so much, like, I find it way harder than actual like pads or like sparring or whatever, because it's selling energy that's not being translated or followed through. It's really hard. Like, it's really fucking hard. Like, screen fighting is not.
I guess that's, yeah, when you put it like that
Because the thing is, with a
makes
punch,
you realise how difficult
it's really hard. Because with a punch, if I'm actually punching you, right, like, you're going to take the impact, right?
Yeah.
And my body, the energy has somewhere to go.
Transfers.
It's going through you. Yeah.
Whereas you need
it's going
to
through you. Whereas if I'm
pull it,
trying to,
because you're going to
you
go.
got to pull it, so it's got to be like, oh!
I need to still react
And
in
it's
the
just,
same way.
Yeah. And your whole body almost has to sell it more than if you were just doing the shot.
Yeah.
Because, you know, if I'm throwing a hook on screen, also your guard is like in a weird fucking place. Your guard's down here. Your guard's never actually where it's supposed to be when the screen fight is. Like, even my trainer, right? I'm not my trainer, sorry. My coordinator is a world-class martial artist. She's like legit, like incredible. Nikki Powell is legendary. I'll show you one of her videos in a sec actually, because you'll enjoy it as a martial artist. Like, she's next level amazing. And she put her shoulder out when she first started learning to screen fight because it's so different. Like I said, like, you know, even just basic punches and stuff like that. If I'm throwing like a hook towards you, like in a general context, right, it's everything's tight and everything's supposed to be tight. But if I'm throwing a hook to you on screen, I'm like, wah! And it's just like, it's all like big and
drunken
like,
pub fights.
yes. And somehow making
big old haymakers.
Yeah, big old haymakers, but somehow making them not look drunk.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? It's like this weird in between you have to make it look sharp and like you're a fighter, but also really big, but not to the degree where you look drunk or like you're not in control. So it's horrible. And even like blocks and stuff like that, like even like, you know, parries and getting out of the way and like rolling under things, everything has to be so much bigger. So if you're, say, coming through this wall, I'm going to attack you from here. So say this is like a wall, so you're going to start there.
I'll start over here.
Yeah. So again, it's going to be super slow speed. So I'm here, I'm ready, right? So I've got my gun here, you're coming through here. I'm going to kick that out of your hand. Obviously you'd be lower because you have a thing there. So that happens and that gun would drop out of your hand. And then I've come here, you swing for me here, I go under you to shoot a guy, and then as you're recoiling back to throw something else, I'm basically stopping you here. So you're, and again, it's things that you wouldn't do in combat.
Yeah.
So where you're just like, and then you're sort of coming round
What am I doing
and
with
leaving
this?
your arm out, and then my arm would come to meet you here. I'd come through here. I'd like slice you up here, and then I'd cut into your neck, and then I've still got my gun here, so that I can shoot over you. And it's stuff like that. So then basically after I've shot over him here and shot over him here, the knife is essentially lodged in his neck. So then what I do is I push him backwards. And again, selling a push when you're not actually pushing somebody. And you've got to literally go and like get them back.
Yeah.
And then as that's happening, I have to do like a precision back hit into the knife. So into the knife that's not even there anymore, because it's not even there, but I'm thinking, right, the knife is here, so I push this guy, I've got to turn around and spot, and it's got to be precision into your neck so that the knife can like translate in the previs, and it's just stress!
Yeah.
Deep stress.
Crazy.
Yeah, so much stress. So much
Right,
stress.
this one.
Knock someone out. Just straight knock someone out in the head. You know what cowboys used to do more with their guns? Because bullets were expensive, back in the day, like when obviously, you know, cowboys having the you know, the Colt 45s and everything, bullets are expensive. So a majority of the time, these were used as a tool. I mean, obviously they didn't have blocks, they had Colt 45s, but the point was the actual handle of the gun would use them way more to like to kill people rather than the actual bullets, because bullets are expensive. So
and there you go. So if you ever get that in pub ammo, in a pub quiz,
yeah.
or if you really want to be a millionaire,
There you go.